Alright guys, so we're doing another install today. And what we've got here, this is from Rough Country. It is the dual 10-inch slimline LED lights. This is the grill kit here that was in this box here, which really all that is that it came with was these brackets here. I went ahead and put them on both of these light bars. Like I said, there's two of them 10-inch bars. And then it come with these bracket pieces here, and then the hardware kit here, and then the instructions on how to put them into the grill. And like I said, for the grill, see Rough Country, that's this. It's the 18 to 19 F-150 XLT dual 10-inch slimline grill mount, and this only works with the XLTs because it goes into the slots on the grill like this here and here. That's where they mount on that, and it only works with the XLTs. So anyways, that's that. This was the grill kit here. So in the light bar box, the box fell apart, so but I've already got it. So you got both of the light bars, and this is the black series. They also had the chrome series. I went with the black. You come with that. You've got your light harness here, and these are the plugs here for the light bars for each end like this, and that's what plugs into that. And then you've also got the hardware kit for the light bars if you were mounting them like any other way. You use these to mount that up with, but like I said, I'm doing it in the grill, so I went ahead and put these on both light bars. So the next step would be to go outside and start taking the grill apart, because you got to take the shutter system off too. So we're going to start with that. I'll be right back. Alright guys, so with removing the grill, you have to remove the grill cover that's up top, which is this piece right here. And I counted 14 of these push pins that you got to remove, just out of different spots here throughout the cover to pull it off. And then on top of the grill, there's 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're 10mm bolts. So you got to remove those, and then you got to remove your wiring out of this part here. It's this piece right here that goes down in there. Your 2 plugs here you got to remove with these. Just get those out of the way. And then under this piece here, you pull it out. On each side there's 2 7mm bolts here that you got to pull out, and all you do is just pop this out, and it's just clips that holds it in. So you got to take the whole thing off. And then underneath of it down here is 2 more 10mm bolts for you to pull out. I've been kind of going off of the instructions here a little bit too, just making sure I don't miss nothing. But I believe that's all I've got left, is to take this off, and then the additional 2 10mm bolts at the bottom down here, and then the grill should come right off, so that we can remove the shutter system. And I will show you guys that as soon as I get to that part. But this is the shutter part here. All this here, this is for the motor and all that. So let me get this off, and we'll get started with that and getting these lights mounted up. Be right back. So just a quick little update here. The bolts at the bottom down here, there's 1 here and then 1 on the other side. In the instructions it says that it's a 10mm, but on mine, I don't know if you can see it there, but mine were actually 8mm bolts. There's, like I said, this is on the driver's side. That's the one that we take out from here. There's another one here. Now this bolt here is a 10mm, which I believe goes to the headlight. So I'm not sure, like, if somebody had switched these out or something. I really don't know. But like I said, the bolts in mine down here were 8mm. So just make sure you check it first before you know, don't have the right size with you. So like I said, mine was 8mm instead of a 10. Alright guys, so we got the bars mounted into the grill. Finally got the shutter system off, which is this here. There's 4 bolts right here, they don't actually come out. They screw into these other little pieces in the grill right here, these little tab looking things. I got two here, the other two fell out there right here. And then there's a bolt that goes down in the center right here, which goes down right into this piece here that you got to take out. And then there's some tabs here at the bottom. You've got to press in on these out of the bottom of the shutter system here to get that off. But anyways, we got the lights on and the mounts that comes with the grill kit. There's these tabs right here, these silver looking things here, and they're plastic, so you got to be careful with those. But these mounts that come with the grill kit here from Rough Country, you have the longer one, which goes on this part. Like this is the top of the grill up here, and this would be on the driver's side. This is a longer one, and then this is the shorter one, and that's how those go. And make sure that whenever you're looking at it, like towards the passenger side of the truck, these tabs, you can see the silver part here on this one from the outside, and this one on the inside. So this mount here goes on the outside of these tabs here. And so we got that on. I kept the wiring on the inside here next to where the emblem is, and the same thing with this bar over here. The light is towards, or the harness is towards the inside here for the plug. So that's really about it, you know, for that. The sizes that you need for that, for the part for the mounts here, the Allen bolts for it is a 5/32, and the nut is 7/16, and then the part that mounts the light bar brackets to these brackets here, these smaller bolts and the nuts here. For the nut, what I used was a 9mm wrench, and then the little Allen wrench. I'm not sure what size it is. It was one I just had laying around. In the instructions, it tells you to use a 3/32 Allen wrench and a 5/16 wrench for the nuts. Like I said, I'd use the 9mm for the nuts, and then that Allen wrench here I had laying around, so I'm really not sure what size it is. So all that's left now, we've got to start getting the shutter system and all that mounted back up to the grill, and then you can go ahead and do your wiring harness. You know, this, you could go ahead and kind of undo it and plug in the part for these, for the light bars. I may wait to do that. I want to try to get the shutter system back on, but if I do decide to go ahead and kind of hook those up, then I'll show you guys how I done that. So I'm gonna start getting this all put back together, and then I'll show you what the front of the grill looks like with the bars, and we'll get it back on the truck. Now, one thing I will mention, these little nuts right here for the bolts that mounts your light bar to the brackets, make sure you keep up with those. I actually lost one of them, so I found another screw I had laying around to put into this one here. So yeah, just don't do like I did and start losing all your shit. So just keep up with it. So I will be back in a minute. Alright, so I wanted to go ahead and mention real quick too, the first step when getting the shutter system mounted back to your grill. In the instructions, it says to remove the studs from the shutter system, and you have to hold those with it says a pair of pliers. What I used was a pair of vice grips, and the part that you're having to hold is this piece here, this big round piece here at the bottom. That's what you're holding, and then there's a 10mm nut on the other side, these nuts here that you're taking off. So this thing here, like this, whenever it's pushed up in here, you'll see it like this with the nut on it. And so just hold this side, the big round side here, with the vice grips, and then a 10mm for this. And it says to reinsert the T, or sorry, not T, the square nuts. The square nuts that it is referring to, where'd I put it? Right there it is these. So these go into the 4 parts of your grill here. That's the 4 nuts that it says to take out when you're removing your shutter system. And these, they go right back into these slots here like this. So what you do with that is you take the shorter side here and screw that back into this, and then just slide this back in here, so you can take the shutter system and set it down over top of these studs to put the nuts back on. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that to you guys real quick. So whenever you're taking it off, just be careful for these T-nut things here, so you don't lose those, because you will have to have those. All right, so we'll be back in a second. So one more thing, guys, whenever you're screwing these studs back into those little T-nuts right there that I was talking about, one thing that'll really help is if you hold the round base right there with your vice grips, or your pliers again, and just screw the nut on. That way you can get that screwed all the way down into there. So I just wanted to mention that. Alright guys, so this is actually the next day. We had to run to the store yesterday and all that, so I didn't have time to finish it, but we got them finished. Here's the passenger side, and there's the one on the driver's side. So that's what they'll look like when you get finished. And of course, there's the other one that I put in that you guys had seen as well. So the way that I done the wires, that goes to the light bar, I just run them right down in through here. And they go down at the bottom down there, kind of near the bottom of the grill. And I run the plugs for those light bars out the back side of the shutter system and all that. So they're not in the way, they won't interfere with it at all. And then the excess, we just run through here. I zip tied up with this ground cable. Coming over here, all bundled up right here. And of course the inline fuse is over here, next to the other one for the other light bar. And zip tied up the same way, coming through here, going behind that, all the way over to there, through the grommet in the firewall over there. And I have the switch mounted up right next to the other one right there, and it was done the exact same way. It's just coming up right behind this piece, and then there's a metal piece back here behind it. It's going behind that, just underneath, and zip tied all up underneath right there. So right there's both of the switches for that. I may change these out for like the where you have to drill a hole and it flush mounts in right there. I may change these switches out for something like that later on. I'm not sure yet. But anyways, that's both of those. And like I said, they just run right through the grommet right there, and both of them run right through there like that. The hardest part with it, I had to pop the grommet completely out to run it through, and then put a slit in it like I done for the other one. And so the hardest part was getting the damn grommet back into the firewall. But all in all, pretty easy install. Like I said, they just run right through here. They go right back behind the brake booster and stuff here, right through there. So like I said, pretty easy install. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed it, maybe learned a little bit with it. I know I did. And I think this is going to be the last of the light bars that I put in, is these two and that one. That's about all I really wanted on it anyway. So we're going to be doing other things with it. And like I said, I've got a couple of review videos coming up, so just stay tuned for those. Anyways, we'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.